Well, I think it's fair to say that Yamaha's Tenere 700 has dominated the mid-sized adventure bike category since it launched some 3 years ago. It's one of the few bikes that you can take on really technical trails with confidence. It's like a big dirt bike, really. But now there's a new kid on the block, the Aprilia Tuareg 660. It takes on a similar form to the Tenere, 21-inch front wheel, dirt bike style seat and handlebars, and the exact same weight of 204 kilograms soaking wet. Now this Italian adventurer is a little bit more expensive than its Japanese rival, but it's got a handful of features which may make it the pick of the two. Let's investigate. Probably the only bit of twisty road we'll be on before we hit the dirt. I have to say I was a bit nervous going into this ride because I'm amongst such accomplished off-road guys, a few racers, you know, serious dudes. And I know that we're hitting some gnarly stuff, a lot of sand. But as soon as I saw this bike and when I sat on it, like a lot of that worry went away because it really feels like a big dirt bike in the same way that the Tenere does. And look, you know, it's not over yet. I'm sure I'll have a lot of difficult moments today. Anything could happen, but I am put at ease by the way this bike feels. It really is made for the dirt. You can tell that instantly. The way your elbows point on the bars, sitting upright, the way you can sit right up on the tank. The lightness, the fact that you can switch off the rear ABS and the traction control with the press of a button. Nice modulation on the front brake. It really is like being on a big dirt bike, and so that took a lot of my worry away. This bike uses a version of Aprilia's 659cc parallel twin. It's basically the front half of its V4 motor. We saw the same engine in the RS660 sports bike, 210 naked sports bike. Oh, gone a bit wide there. But there's a few differences, like for instance in the Tuareg you got a bit of a different sump, so it's much less prone to being punctured by rocks and stuff like that. It's also got a bit of a different tune to be more suited to the dirt. This one makes 59 kilowatts and 70 newton meters. Of course, there's a Lamb's version of this bike which is exactly the same. Same price, same features, looks even the same. And the only difference being it's restricted to meet Lamb's restrictions in Australia. You can get a quickshifter as an option, but not standard. But you do get cruise control as standard. 4 levels of traction control intervention. No IMU on this one, but I don't think that would really be necessary on a middleweight adventure bike. An IMU which provides lean angle sensitive traction control and cornering ABS, you know, the benefits of that are really only seen on a twisty road. In the dirt, not so necessary. Here we go. This is the real stuff now. Have to thank Cam Donald ahead of me for giving me some pointers. He could tell I was a bit uneasy about this sand. He said a lot of stuff, you know, everyone knows positive throttle will get you through it, stuff like that, but he also said, you know, trust yourself and trust the bike when it's moving underneath you. You can allow for quite a bit of it. It feels foreign and you want to tense up, but you can do it. The bike's capable, you're capable. Oh shit, whoa. They obviously weren't riding that with a shingle. Fast, man. It's about as much power as you want, I reckon. 59 kilowatts, 70 newton meters. Never felt so creamy. Do you want to go ahead, Charis?
I'm not fast.
Me either. Yeah, it just catches you so quickly. One little error, one little lapse in concentration on sand, and it'll bite. I feel like I'm going to come away from this ride a much improved motorcyclist. I might be annoying some of you guys that are much faster off-road than me, so I'm sorry, but look, you got to learn. I've been riding for 20 years, so I'm not useless. But sand is its own animal, and one that if you can conquer, well, I think that's quite the accolade. That's a feather in your cap. This bike has nice big foot pegs, so you feel really planted on the bike. They had rubber inserts that I just removed real easily. I love the position of the handlebars. The handlebars and seat is what makes this bike what it is, in a way, as weird as that sounds. The seating position is such a game-changing element, oddly. Often even on other street bikes and stuff, I've adjusted the ergonomics, the levers and the bars and all that, and I've gone from not liking a bike to really liking it. So something as trivial seeming as ergos can really make a big difference to how well you ride the bike and how good you feel on it. Oh, very intimidating, grabbing a handful of front brakes on sand. I'm just dabbing the rear here and there just for that reason. I'm doing about 3 miles an hour and I'm already exhausted. Feels so good over those whoops, just smooth and nice. Feel like on other adventure bikes you'd really find these bumps a lot more jarring. Oh, hit my head on that log pretty hard. All the gear all the time. This type of adventure bike is really in vogue at the moment. It used to be all about your big bore adventure bikes, your big R1250 GS, your Tiger 1200s and stuff of that ilk, and they're still popular and good, but we're finding that more and more people are looking to things like this that are really capable off-road. The KTM 890 Adventure and the Yamaha Tenere 700 are the two most popular adventure bikes in Australia, and I think that's for that reason, you know. Perhaps, you know, times are tough or whatever, you might not be able to have a road bike and a dirt bike, but with these things, within reason, they do both pretty damn well. May I dedicate this next one to the gods. Power and torque. Well, this one's been a bit of a test, I have to say. Some of these guys here are just such gun riders. It's kind of been enjoyable in its own right, just watching them let it rip and seeing what the Aprilia can do with a really good rider on it. But throughout the day, as I learned to trust the bike and more importantly learned to trust my own riding ability, a lot of things that seemed really daunting became quite easy. The big takeaway for me with the Aprilia Tuareg is the suspension. It's just lovely. It's so compassionate. KYB stuff, 240mm of travel at each end and fully adjustable. On the road, I thought it felt real soft and a bit divey, but it all made sense once we came off road. It does get loose, but it seems to never go that extra scary. It's compassionate. It wants to get you through the hard stuff. It doesn't sense my weakness and boot me off, but I'm sure when you're really on the limit, it also is a seriously aggressive off-road machine. The road gods have been in our favour today. Woo! Rock and roll, grouse! Whoop. Thought it was a crossroads. That's Andrew Clubb ahead of me. Really good off-road rider. Really good. Oh, it's getting soft now. Make sure I've got positive throttle. Oh man, that's soft. Man, I'm such a fairy. Man up, Spencer. Get some balls, would ya? I used to be cool, I assure you. But now I'm just old man Spencer. Scared of the sand on the motorcycle. Whatever will happen. Fucking hell. I think I'm going alright, and then these bastards come around me at about 3 million kilometers an hour. This has definitely been a humbling experience. Bike's looked after me though. And that's the sort of bonding experience you have with a motorcycle where you fall in love with it, you know? When a bike looks after you, it gets you through something and you do something challenging to yourself together. Whatever that challenge is, everyone's at different levels. But that connection between man and machine is a really big part of what makes motorcycles fantastic. They're a tool, they're a luxury, they're a lot of things, but they're also a spiritual companion in a lot of ways. And they go really fast. Look at this, fucking atrocious. I'm bogged. What do you think of my big jump, Mavi? Impressive?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, thanks.